Next, we're going to look at figures. The first one we're looking at is here's an image, and here's the caption for that image. And the caption is currently marked as a paragraph. You could come up here, highlight both the figure and the caption, and hit them and tag them for figure and caption. That changes this to caption, leaves this as a figure. But that doesn't always work out very well on the programming end because this is still seen as an image with no alt text. So sometimes it doesn't transfer very well. Instead, what I recommend doing is we take this caption text and we put it in as the alt text for the image and then make the caption background. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to come up to Editing, Edit Image, and Texts, and we're going to highlight all of this here and then just copy it. Then we're going to come back down to Touch Up Reading Order. We're going to right click on the figure and hit Edit Alt Text. Then just paste the caption in, hit OK, and then highlight the caption and mark it as background. Not all images need alt text. So in this example, we've got these here that are labeled as figure, but they really aren't adding anything. They're just purely decorative. So those can all be marked as background. There's no reason for the student to be told that there's a decorative image here. It doesn't add to the understanding of the document. Then we've also got up here, we've got another figure. It looks to be the Ohio State House, maybe. The question is it needed? Is it this image adding anything to the content, or is it just a picture to fill space in a printed document? It doesn't look to be content related at all, so for this one, I'd also mark it as background. Here we have two more images, and we need to make a decision about whether or not these are background or context related, and then if we should alt tag them. So this first image here appears to be it's a cop on a bike, and this is a public safety document. Without continuing on to read the rest of the document, I'm not really sure if this is context related or not. So I'm going to go ahead and alt text it just to be on the safe side. Now on the last one, we right clicked and we were able to edit alt text from here. If you're not able to pull that up, and sometimes you can't, over here in the accessibility, you can hit Set Alt Text. And it's going to tell you it's going to go ahead and detect them all and let you know. So in this one here, this first figure, we do want to make it, we do want to keep it a figure, and we want to put alt text in. Some things to remember about alt text: you don't need to put picture of or image of. Just put in what's important about the picture. So what's important about this picture is there's a motorcycled police officer. So that would be the text I would write in right here. You can then click through to the other images in the document and do all of your alt text at the same time. For this second image here, there's text in this, so we've got an option. We could either retype or copy all of this text as the alt text for the figure, but there's another way because there's not actually an image here except for this decorative box. So instead, what we can try to do, if we can highlight, let's go ahead first make the figure background, because we don't care about the decorative box around it. Then we highlight the text and go ahead and make that a paragraph. Now this will become readable text. So the last type of figure I want to talk about are charts and graphs. Charts and graphs are pretty much going to be content related, and they will need alt text. But you can't just put in here's a chart or here's a graph. The content information, what the graph is trying to say or what the chart is trying to say, that's the information we need in the alt text. Sometimes that information will be provided by the faculty who's giving you the document. Sometimes that information is actually in the text of the document. If not, you're going to have to look at the chart and figure it out. So for this one here, we've got the chart heading as a paragraph, and then we've got the figure. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do the alt text. So I'm going to open up the alt text. And I've already typed in here what I think the alt text should be. So I'm going to take this Exhibit 1, percentage of respondents using major reforms. I'm putting the chart title in. And then I'm putting in what the chart actually says. So zero-based budgeting, it's at 15% before and 23% after. Priority-driven budgeting here is at 12% before and 23% after. Target-based budgeting, 25% before and 34% after. That's actually what we need to put all that information in for our alt text. Then over here, we don't need to read the chart title twice to the student. So we're going to take the chart title and just mark it as background, because that information is now in the alt text for that image. So now we're going to do the same thing for this chart here. Again, this is the chart heading. Exhibit 6, what survey respondents think. So we put that in as our alt text, Exhibit 6, what survey respondents think. Then they've actually told us in here what the text should be. So we can just go ahead and type that in. 47% have not seriously considered, 33%, and so on and so forth. Then, again, we're going to take this and we're going to mark it as background, because we don't need to read to the student the heading of the graph twice.